Welcome to the next level.
Hey everyone, this is 8-Bit Flashback, and today we're going to be doing a couple tests on the Sega Genesis Flashback HD that's made by AT Games. And what we're going to be testing out is a Chinese Everdrive cartridge and a Megadrive Multicart 32-in-1. So to start with, we're going to test this in the original Sega Genesis Model 1 just to show you how it works. Then we'll test it in the Flashback. So let's go and power this up. And the way the Everdrive works is there's a bunch of games that are already loaded on the SD card, and you just have to select one of those games, then it rewrites the cartridge so you can play that game. So I've selected Shaq Fu, which is probably one of the worst games ever I've heard, but why not? Let's try it. And I will be doing a review on this Chinese Everdrive cartridge explaining in more detail how it works, but that'll be a separate video. Okay, as you can see, the game works, and I recommend that you never ever play this game. It's really bad. Now let's test the Everdrive out on the Sega Genesis Flashback. And normally what happens when it boots up, it does not recognize the cartridge. And for some reason, while I was testing and shooting this video, the Everdrive cartridge popped up. This is the first time it's ever happened for me. And I've tested it probably 20 different times already, and this was the first time. So, let's see what happens when we click on the game. Absolutely nothing, just a black screen. I'll try to quit the game, we'll try to reload it again. And nothing, just black screen. So I even tried to reset it to try to get the cartridge to work, and this is what normally happens. Normally it doesn't even recognize the cartridge and doesn't show I have one in the slot. So I tried to reset it probably 20 different times, trying to get Shaq Fu to pull back up, and it would not. So the Sega Genesis Flashback seems to have a mind of its own when using Everdrive cartridges. But after flashing numerous different games to the Everdrive cartridge and testing it out and resetting it probably 50 different times, I finally got another game to pull up. And this is a 5-in-1 ROM with 5 different Sega titles on one ROM. And to my surprise, the game actually loaded and it works. I figured I'd just get another black screen. I was very surprised to see that this game actually worked. It's very strange though, I can't figure out why sometimes it loads and sometimes it doesn't. Maybe 1 out of 50 tries I get it to work. And I'm not doing anything any different. All I'm doing is powering the console off, removing the cartridge, putting the cartridge back in, and powering it on. And I'll be doing some further testing, trying to figure out why sometimes it does work, but at this point I don't have an answer. So to make things even weirder, I tried to quit the game, and then tried to load the game right back up, and it would not work. It just went to black screen. And then when I reset the console, it just went right back to the main menu, and it would not read the game again. So there's probably a way I can figure out how to make this work. Maybe it needs a little bit more power. But as of now, I would say that the Sega Genesis Everdrive is not compatible with the Sega Genesis Flashback. Alright, let's test out the Megadrive 32-in-1 Multicart, and we're going to test that on the Sega Genesis Model 1 first, but it will not fit in a slot, so we're going to have to use an adapter, and for an adapter we'll use a Game Genie. And on a side note, in one of my previous videos, we did test that Game Genie on the Sega Genesis Flashback, and it did not work. Alright, let's power up the Model 1, and we're going to load up to the Game Genie screen first. And we're not going to enter a code, we're just going to start the game and pick a random title. We'll pick Elemental Master. So we got the game working on the Model 1. Now let's test it on the Flashback. So the Flashback, you don't need no adapter, it fits right in there. So we'll power it up. And it reads the cartridge, but it reads it as Rambo. So Rambo is one of the games that's on there. But when we go to load the game, all we get is a black screen. And I'll keep trying here, and it just goes to black screen. And if I try to load this game more than 5 times, it usually locks up on that black screen, and the only thing I can do to get rid of it is turn the console off and back on. Well, that's it for the testing. We had that Everdrive, and I was able to get that to work only once though, so I would say it's not compatible. And the Multicart, I tested that a bunch of times too, and I never was able to get it to work. It just went to black screen. Alright guys, thanks for watching. If you liked that video, please hit that like button. And if you want to hear more from me, please subscribe. And if you want to see more of my videos, just click any of these links. Alright everyone, I'm out of here. Later.